Okay, welcome to section 5.3, the second video. And in this video, we will factor some special cases, and then we will use zero product property to solve quadratic equations. So, example number one, or example A, difference of two squares. If you rewrite this, x squared minus 81 is equal to 0. So all I did is I put 81 on the other side. Did you notice that the middle term is missing? Okay, because technically we should get x squared plus bx plus c. But you can always rewrite it this way. You can always put this x squared plus 0x minus 81 equals 0. In other words, if the term is missing, it's technically 0x. So the linear term is 0x. Now, how do you factor this? Okay, think about what two numbers can you multiply and the product is -1, but when you find the sum, the answer is 0. So if you think about this, x, x, and think about all the factors of 81, okay, or -81. And if you think about all the factors, it has to be -81, it will be -9 times 9. Why this pair? -9 times -9 times 9 is -81, but most importantly, -9 plus 9 is equal to 0. That's why the answer is x minus 9, x plus 9. Again, if you're not sure if your answer is correct, please feel free to check your work by distributing or FOIL. Pause the video and try example B. Again, example number B, or example B would be x squared minus 4, and I'm going to write plus 0x in the middle. Okay, I'm going to do this in different color. Okay, so think about this. What are factors of -4? -4 could be 4 times 1. 1 has to be plus, 1 has to be minus, but also 2 and -2, and that will work. So you get x minus 2, x plus 2. Okay, we'll not solve it. That will be our next page. Example C, perfect square trinomial. Okay, think about 9. 9 is 1 times 9 and 3 times 3. So you get x, x. Which pair would you pick? If you pick 1 and 9, the sum would be 10. And again, the middle term is not 10x, it's 6x. So there has to be x plus 3 and x plus 3. Now, sometimes you will see the solution written this way. X plus 3 to the second power. Okay? X plus 3 times x plus 3 is same thing as x plus 3 in parentheses to the second power. Please take a minute, try example D. This is a tricky problem. 25. Okay? In mathematics, if you multiply two positive numbers, the product is positive. But when you add two positive numbers, the sum is also positive. But in this case, you need to add two numbers, so the sum is -10. Okay? Also, when you multiply two negative numbers, the answer is also positive. So the choices are -1 times -25, -2 times -10, and also -5 times -5. Okay, so I give you all the choices. Now think about which pair would you pick. -5 plus -5 is equal to -10x. So you get x minus 5, x minus 5. And then you can write this x minus 5 to the second power. Okay, and the last part of the lesson is probably the most important part, solving quadratic equations. Today, I will show you how to solve quadratic equations by factoring, but later you will also use something called quadratic formula. So before I start this problem, in my head, I'm thinking about two numbers. But when I multiply them, the product is zero. In other words, I have two numbers, but when I multiply them, the answer is zero. Can you guess one of the numbers? The answer is yes. If the product is zero, this means that this number is zero, or this number is zero, or both numbers are zeros. Why? Because anything times zero will give you zero. So, what are the steps? First, factor the GCF if you have any. Then set it equal to zero, and then solve each equations. Typically, you will get two solutions. We'll see cases where you have one solution, and later in the course, we'll have no real solution, or you will have imaginary solutions. So, look at example number one. Step one, factor. Do not forget to find GCF. How do you factor x squared minus 5x minus 36? X, negative 36. Think about what two numbers can you multiply and get negative 36. It could be 36 and 1, obviously one negative, one positive. It could be 2 and 18. It could be 3 and 12. It could be 4 and 9, and it could be 6 and 6. I will pick 4 and 9. Why? Why would you pick 4 and 9? Because 4 minus 9 is equal to negative 5. So the choice I will pick is 9 times 4, but it has to be negative 9. Again, think if you understand this. Why would you pick negative 9 and 4? Why? Negative 9 times 4 is negative 36. It gives you the last term. And negative 9 plus 4 is negative 5. So the factoring part is x minus 9, x plus 4. And this is equal to 0. So now, step number 2, set each factor equal to 0. So you will get x minus 9 is equal to 0, or x plus 4 is equal to 0. Okay? If you solve the first equation on the left, you do plus 9 plus 9, x equals 9. If you solve the second equation, minus 4, x is equal to negative 4. So we have two solutions, x equals 9, x equals negative 4. Here, two solutions. How would you check if the answer is correct? If you substitute 9 back in the equation, you will get 0. And if you substitute negative 4, you will also get 0. Okay, so pause this video and try example number 2. Okay, so example number 2, x squared minus 7x is equal to 30. Okay? First, you have to write it in standard form, which means the 30, you have to move to your left. So if you move 30 to your left, or if you subtract 30 from both sides, you will get x squared minus 7x minus 30 is equal to 0. Now look for GCF. We cannot factor anything because there's 1 in front of x squared, so that's a prime number. So now take a moment and try to factor this trinomial. Again, x and x, please write negative 30. Now, if this is difficult for you, okay, I recommend that you write all the factors of negative 30. Write all the factors of negative 30. In other words, what two numbers can we multiply and get negative 30? Okay, one has to be negative, one has to be positive. So you could do negative 1 times 30. You could do positive 1 times negative 30. You could do negative 2 times 15, 2 times negative 15, 3 times 10, and 4 times, no, that doesn't work. 5 times 6, okay? Which pair would I pick? I would pick 10 and 3, okay? And you tell me one has to be negative, one has to be positive, okay? And which one is negative? It has to be negative 10. Why negative 10? Because negative 10 plus 3 is equal to negative 7. So the factoring is x minus 10, x plus 3 is equal to 0. Then if you look at zero product property, this means that A could be 0 or B could be 0. Okay? So this means x minus 10 equals 0 or x plus 3 is equal to 0. Okay? If you solve it, you get x equals 10 or x equals negative 3. So we have two solutions. X could be positive 10 or x could be negative 3. I hope this video was helpful again, but in order to understand this, you have to practice. If you don't practice, you will have no confidence. It will take you a lot of time to factor. You have to practice, 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 practice. Have a good day.